Are you considering divorce? Are you dealing with it now? Are you on the other side and not sure what comes next? You've come to the right place. Welcome to the Divorce Do's and Don'ts Show with your host, Lisa C. Decker.
Hello, and welcome back to the Divorce Do's and Don'ts Show. I'm Lisa C. Decker, your host, and I am a certified divorce financial analyst, a real estate collaboration specialist in divorce, and an amicable divorce professional, certified amicable divorce professional. And I am also the CEO and founder of Divorce Money Matters and DivorceTown USA, the sponsor of this show. And we are so happy to have you here today because we're coming to the end of this year and we have a special show for you today, sharing with you some tips and tools and free resources that can help you as you are going through your divorce journey. So thank you for being here. Well, as we wrap up 2022 with our last show of the year, we wanted to bring you more information about one of our most common resources that folks download, the Divorce Financial Fitness Kit. And I created this to help you get better organized and take better control of your matters, your money matters specifically during your divorce. Today, we're going to take a deeper dive into the Divorce Financial Fitness Kit so you can get the most out of this unique tool and be better prepared for the journey set before you. Let's talk about what's in the kit first, and then we'll spend a little time on each piece. So if you've already downloaded your copy, I encourage you to grab it so you can make notes and reference your personal copy during today's show. And if you're watching the replay, you can get your copy at DivorceMoneyMatters.com. Feel free to join us. All right, the first piece of the Divorce Financial Fitness Kit is the Beginning a Winning ebook. I wrote this to help you along your divorce journey because it's one of the most emotional journeys you'll ever undertake. And this will save you a lot of time, energy, and money if you start thinking of your divorce as a business transaction and conduct yourself accordingly. And so you'll see a copy of that there. We just wanted to give you a quick snapshot of what the ebook looks like. And again, you can get that as part of the kit. I want you to remember that you have just one shot to get it done right the first time, or you're likely going to live with the mistakes that you've made for a lifetime. And we don't want to see that happen to you. So remember that how you start your divorce is likely also how you will end it. If it begins emotionally charged and with a lot of drama and conflict, it may very well end up in expensive litigation. Last week, we took a deep dive into the DivorceTown Roadmap. And this showed you the right path for you and your family and making sure that you are properly prepared before you can begin. And you can download that gift for free at DivorceTownUSA.com. That's the DivorceTown USA Roadmap. Now, if you don't have children, sometimes the simplest, most effective way to begin is to meet with a divorce financial expert, preferably one who is a certified divorce financial analyst, because like myself, we have special designation in divorce and financial matters because frankly, folks, it is different than typical financial planning. Very different. As I learned when I got my certification, as I was working in the financial services industry, I didn't know what I didn't know about divorce and money matters, but I do now. And I encourage you to find a specialist in divorce and financial matters, just like an attorney in family law. You don't want a general practitioner for most cases. So if you're already working with a financial planner, see if they have this designation. And if they don't, ask them to refer you to someone who does. This is not a time to work with a general practitioner who may or may not get it right. If you and your spouse can work together through this part of the process with a financial neutral, meaning a middle party who is there to help facilitate getting through the process, not as an advocate for either party, kind of like a financial mediator, a financial neutral assumes a similar role. And then you may be able to resolve most or all of your divorce financial issues. I work mostly with couples who are divorcing, and we settle many cases, a great percentage of cases, doing the financial piece up front. And then clients just go to attorneys to draft and review the paperwork. So it can be a wonderful option if you guys can work together. Now, if you are able to resolve most, but not all of your financial issues, you may have a, may be able to have a shorter mediation or settlement hearing or meeting, I should say, no hearings involved here, settlement meeting where your attorneys are trying to help you sort this out. And all the time that you can shorten all of these things is more money that's going to stay in your pocket and cost you far less money. Because if you've worked out everything else and you just have a few issues, you can go for those and leave everything else is already resolved. Now, should you have legal questions or issues and you want to meet with an attorney first, I strongly recommend choosing someone in the DivorceTown USA network or the amicable divorce networks. These attorneys are settlement minded, have fair, transparent billing practices, and they work well together in getting the best outcomes for their clients. And honestly, I'm at the point now where I'm not taking on many clients who are not getting attorneys in the networks, because it's a shame to go through all of the process and all of the work that we've done and reach a good settlement or close to settlement, and then go to outside attorneys not in DivorceTown or amicable divorce network, only to find out that they have blown up the case and just decimated all of the work that's been done. And that can happen. So you need to know what you're getting into and what your choices are. And if you can find a settlement minded attorney, that's your best bet for both of you. So this brings us to the second part of my divorce financial fitness kit, the 50 must ask questions when seeking an attorney. And so you see it here on the screen, because you don't want to have to divorce your divorce attorney too. And I know that sounds funny, but folks, I have been there, done that with clients who have come to me and said, you know, I just can't get communication. They're just fighting with the other attorney. And I'm spending all the money while this is going on and not getting anywhere. And they end up having to leave the attorney that they initially hired and move on to another, and sometimes another. Can you imagine? You're going through a divorce. It's not bad enough to be divorcing your spouse. Now you're divorcing your attorney too. Get that part right from the beginning as well. It's vitally important. So today we're going to highlight just a few of these questions. One of them is, do you recommend working with other professionals such as a financial advisor, a business valuator, forensic accountant, or therapist if needed? So this question is important, but why, right? It is highly unlikely that your attorney has any form of mental health training, especially as it relates to co-parenting, divorce, grief, and loss. It also is extremely unlikely that they will have any certifications or designations in the complex financial issues that can arise during divorce. If your attorney is not willing to bring on other experts on the team, they may not be the best choice for your divorce. As they try to handle things outside of their scope of their legal profession, you'll be the one footing the bill for that and the additional time and energy they'll have to expend in your case. And even still, they may not get it right. The next questions should be asked hand in hand. What areas of law do you practice, and how long have you been practicing in your field? How often do your cases end up in court? That's a very telling question. And what percentage of your cases usually settle out of court? These questions are important because you want to choose an attorney who specializes in family law and who has experience. What percentage of their cases settle out of court is probably a good indication of how settlement-minded they are and how likely you may be to end up with expensive litigation or not. Now, these are just a few examples of the things you should know before hiring a family law attorney. Don't just hire someone because your friend or a family member recommended them, especially if they were involved in a particularly high conflict divorce. You are unique. Your divorce is unique, and the right attorney for one person may not always be a good fit for another. And that's why it's important to go through this list of questions and find the ones that matter to you and ask them of the attorney so that you are getting the knowledge that you need to make an informed decision on this very important decision going through your divorce. And then this brings us to the last and perhaps the most important piece of the divorce financial fitness kit. It's called the document worksheet. The sooner you begin using this worksheet, the better, preferably even before your divorce meeting with your first divorce professional. And as you can see, there's a lot of information here. This spreadsheet is 3 pages long. There's just about everything that you could need to gather. And some of it may not pertain to you. You just skip those lines, but it's a memory jogger and it's a resource that can help you track things and get organized and know where you have gaps that you need to fill. And that is probably one of the most valuable items that you can get in your divorce. And it is available to you free at divorcemoneymatters.com. Well, so why is this also important? Well, divorce comes down to usually the money and the children. In this case, we're talking about the money because you don't know what you don't know, especially if you were not the spouse who has traditionally handled the finances in your marriage. And don't feel bad about that. We always, 9 times out of 10, find that one spouse takes care of the finances and one is happy to let them do that. Now is the time to get informed and educated and involved. And it is important that you be educated, enlightened, and empowered as it relates to your financial matters. And I want to say this as well. You need to be the CEO of your divorce, of your life. You also should be a proactive partner, not a passive participant when it comes to the matters of your health and your wealth, because nobody has all the answers. Sometimes things get missed. You must be involved in the process and you must understand what's being put before you to make decisions upon. And if you don't, then you need to get more information and more guidance, because don't just hope and sign on the dotted line. You need to make sure that you are protected and you're getting your fair share. So this worksheet will help you determine what types of accounts are in your name, your spouse's name, what may be held jointly, and what type of debt you may have as a couple. If you don't know what some of these documents are, you can look them up. Do your research, read articles and blogs by financial experts that are designed to help you make better choices. Of course, a word of caution on that. There are a lot of websites out there that are designed to scam and steal. Don't get involved in that, folks. We want to make sure that you're using reputable websites and legitimate sources of financial information. Now, for example, many of the DivorceTown USA real estate and financial experts have written articles and appeared on this show with reliable, trustworthy help and information. As you identify financial accounts, look for recent documentation that will tell you how they are titled and what the current balances are. Most financial institutions today offer online statements and resources to help you with this so you don't have to leave a paper trail. Now, if you're working cooperatively with your spouse, then it's not a problem. You both should be putting everything on the table and have access to all. But if your spouse is not of the sort that's going to share with you and you need to protect yourself, you want to make sure that you're doing it in a way that's not going to cause you any harm. So if you haven't yet discussed the divorce with your spouse, of course, be discreet and document as much as you can. The more information and knowledge that you have before starting the process, the more effective you'll find your meetings are with your divorce team. So in conclusion here, I hope that you have found today's dive into the Divorce Financial Fitness Kit helpful in providing you with some clarity as to how and when to start the process and what information you'll need to gather along the way. That's one of the biggest obstacles for a lot of people who come see me. They just feel like they don't know where to begin. Start with the Divorce Financial Fitness Kit. Of course, this kit is not only free as a resource for your disposal, but before we wrap up today's show, let's take a look at some of the other free resources we have available through DivorceTown USA to help you with your divorce. So right here, I want to let you know that Divorce Help and Hope, DivorceTown USA sponsors a virtual Divorce Help and Hope support group through meetup.com, which meets once or twice a month via Zoom, and meeting dates and times are always posted on DivorceTown USA in the events section. We also have at DivorceTown USA that roadmap that you just saw pop up there, and that is more information on the options that you have to getting divorced and the pros and cons for each of those, so that you can make an informed decision on which is the best way for you to start for your family. We want to keep you off of that right-hand bottom side there, folks. Duke It Out Drive and Bigger Bucks Boulevard. That's what this show is all about, staying away from there. Next up, we have the DivorceTown Marketplace, and it has been designed to bring you some of the best books and products and resources that we've found over the years to help you through your divorce so you can thrive forever, long after. And these feature the sections of the divorce process, healing and recovery, divorce and finances, divorce and children, co-parenting resources, and even just for fun, because sometimes you have to laugh in the middle of the darkness. The marketplace has virtually something for everyone, and we're constantly updating and seeking new resources for any stage of the process that we can find to help you. And next week, of course, will be our first show of the new year. Happy New Year to everyone. And January is always Child-Centered Divorce Month. That's International Child-Centered Divorce Month, which DivorceTown USA has been a part of since its inception. To start off the new month, the new year, and a great cause, our January 3rd show will be when to introduce new partners and relationships to your children with our guest, Teresa Harlow. You won't want to miss that. This is going to be a great show. And so now we hope you found this week's episode of Divorce Do's and Don'ts helpful. And we look forward to seeing you all next week as we continue to work to improve the way the world divorces, one family at a time.